Guys, it's me, the Horse Illustrator, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm not in my bedroom like normal, I'm actually in my kitchen. Hope you like my fairy lights. But today's video is going to be how to make Christmas horse treats, like for the ponies. But yeah, so little Christmas tree shaped horse treats I'm going to be doing. It will kind of be a tutorial and then also be a chaotic try and bake some stuff with me. Yeah, so I will show you the tutorial on how to make some horse treats for your ponies to enjoy. So first thing I'll show you is the ingredients and the stuff you need. So first I've got my bowl here to mix it up with, and I don't think there's any more ingredients, don't hold me to this, I might pull in an extra one randomly, but got a fruit or vegetable of your choice. I picked bananas as they work the best, but yeah, sorry about that light, it's automatic so it just turned off. But yes, I've got 2 bananas, I've got some plain flour, I've got a bit of sugar because we don't put much in but we put a tiny bit of sugar in, and then I've got some porridge oats that are low in sugar for the ponies. Right, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is get your bowl, and you can get a standard size mug because on the tutorial that I followed when I was like younger and then I did my own like adjustments and stuff, so on my recipe I don't actually know the exact measurements, but what I like to get is a standard size mug. So let me just find one now. Might as well get a Christmas one, it is Vlogmas after all. So I've got a standard size mug and a bowl. So I'm going to get my porridge oats and I'm going to take, wait, let me fill it up properly. Fill the mug up to the top like this with the oats and pour it into your bowl. I'm going to be doing 2 mugs full. That's not a full mug, that's half a mug. 2 mugs full of these porridge oats. That's another half. Right, so now I've got my oats in the bowl and I will show you them now. So you've put 2 mugs full, or however much you want, of your porridge oats into your bowl now. Now it's time to add the next ingredient. Kind of change position so you can see me a little bit better. But next up you add your fruit or vegetable of your choice. So I've got my 2 bananas here and now I'm going to mash them up and put them into my bowl. So I'm going to go get a plate, peel the bananas onto it and then mash them up. So I couldn't find a potato masher, but I found the mashiest thing I could. So now I'm going to peel my bananas. These ones are a bit ripe still, so it's probably a bad idea to be using them. They're a bit green still, if you know what I mean. So they'll be a bit harder to do. That'll be nice. Right. Oh, they're hard to peel. What's going on? My peel bananas. What's he doing? Okay, so once you've got your fruit or vegetable onto a plate, it's either time to grate it or mash it. I'm going to mash mine because you can't really grate a banana. So I'm going to roll my sleeves up and get mashing. I'm just going to go straight in with it and just try and mash it up, make it gooey and gross and mash and squash. I'm going to get those ingredients. Once you've mashed them, they should look a bit like this. So now they kind of look like this, I'm going to add them into my mixture. Now they're in the bowl. To mix it all together, well, everything you've done so far mixed together, so I'm going to go get myself a mixing thing. Got myself something to mix with, and now you just kind of okay, so once it's all kind of mixed together, your vegetable or fruit and the oats, you get your mug and you get your plain flour and you take 1 scoop of plain flour and you put it into your mixture. So, well, that's not even, right, that's a terrible scoop. Okay, I might not do a scoop, I might just tip it in and hope for the best. So about a mug full, you just tip in. So about the size of a mug. You can pour it into a mug and then do that if you're worried about that. Okay, so once you've added that, I would get about 5 centimeters of water probably less than that, about 3 centimeters of water, and you pour it into your mixture. And then it's time to mix again. So you get your mixing thing, and you mix everything that Okay, once that's all mixed, you can, well, it's up to you, depending on how yours looks. But for mine, I think it's worth getting another about 2 centimeters maybe of water. And then mix that in before you add a tiny bit of sugar. So for mine, I don't want to add very much sugar because that's not very good for the ponies. So I get my sugar pot and I just take a couple of pinches of sugar and sprinkle it in. Just kind of mix, just until it all falls together. So if yours is a bit too dry, I'll put how should look, isn't it? If yours is a bit too dry, you can add a little more water. But you want it to look like this. Let me show you. So you want it to look like this, quite sticky, and yeah, kind of like this kind of consistency. Ew. So once it looks like that and it's all mixed up, it's time to grab your baking tray and your sort of baking paper to put on the tray. I've moved us back over once more because now is the fun bit. So first you line your baking tray with your baking paper, and then is the fun part where you get to scoop it out and mold your treats basically to the shape you want them. So I'm just gonna scoop them out right now. I might need something else to kind of scoop them off with. Oh wow, that was good. Here you might have to get your hands a bit dirty and just sort of get in there and mold them how you like. So once you've sectioned them out, it's time to get the molds you want to use. So I have a very small Christmas tree and some big stars. So over the big blobs, I'm going to put the star. So with molding, unless you have like baking molds that you leave in the oven, but I don't, so don't do this. So don't leave them on. On top of the shape, like lost a bit into the molds to shape it off. But it's big. It's hard to make. Leave the mold in the oven, I just squeeze a bit more into bits that need it, so that they can have all the bits they need for molding mesh stars. I get started, so then I just off like that, remove the excess, and then just pick that through. I can do all the shapes, but they don't leave me. Okay, I'll start, it's anywhere. Just shape it out. Oh, that's not okay, so now we're finished molding it. Put this one here. This is the last molding on the table. The last one, my something. So I've got fingers, I mold it now in the baking tray. Oh, that's not star. Okay, I want to okay, so once all of your treats are on the baking tray and molded right, please get a parent or guardian or an adult to do this bit for you because this can get very, very hot, but you're going to put them in the oven. So I'm just putting mine in my oven now. Okay, so you're going to want to leave them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes on gas mark 1 to 2. So I'm going to put mine on gas mark 2. We'll do that right now. Okay. Once they're in the oven, set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and then they'll be done. Okay everyone, it's 15 minutes later now and my cookies are out of the oven. Make sure you get a parent or somebody to, if you're obviously younger, to get these out for you. But half of them don't look like stars and then some of them do. So I'm just gonna carefully peel them off of the baking tray. Ah, it's quite hot. Okay, I'll show you them once I have peeled all of them off. Also guys, because these are obviously human and horse friendly ingredients, you can try them. My ones, they're not too bad actually. Okay everyone, now this is what the finished product looks like. These are the stars, so there's a star here, one that actually looks like a star there as well, and you can see a few stars, and then some are just little ball-shaped ones. But yeah, this is just a block. Okay, Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this weirdly, I don't even know what to call it, unprofessional baking video. But yeah, and maybe if you followed along on the tutorial, I hope your cookies turn out well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and probably tomorrow's video, or a video coming soon, will actually be a taste testing of these with the ponies. So see you all tomorrow. Bye.